Okie dokes. I think I'm live. I think I am live. All right, guys. I've got an amazing short Facebook Live coming at you today. I promise I'm not going to go over 5 minutes. We've got Lindley Evans in the room. How are you doing, my darling? How's Adelaide? I hope you're not melting like we do here in Brisbane right now. It's really crazy. And before I start, I just want to share something really dicky that I did today. You're probably going to get a laugh out of this. I was doing a screen share with my hubby as a test on my iPad, and I'm using a whiteboard app so I can actually paint and use my Apple sticky thing to do the drawing. And so here I am presenting, and then I wanted to clear the screen, and what I did is I was wiping the screen and it wouldn't go off. And it took me literally like 10 seconds to figure out that I'm not on my actual whiteboard, I am on my app, iPad app. So that was really funny. You've had your fair share, yeah. Yeah, it's really muggy here at the moment, and it's crazy hot and muggy, so I think the older I get, the less I like the mugginess, to be honest. I like cool weather, so Adelaide is right down my alley, although you guys had really hot weather lately, so yeah, crazy stuff. So let's get into sales conversations and how you can make a sales conversation more fun and less icky, because what we are taught as coaches, as consultants, is to have these big ass scripts that are pages and pages long, and that we got to follow the script because otherwise we make mistakes and we're not going to close the prospect into a sale. Well, I say boo-hoo to these big ass scripts because they don't work. They really don't work, okay? So what I've done is I found a process to make it super simple, and I want to share that with you today. I also want to share 3 steps that actually make sales conversations more fun for myself, and I hope that you will find them helpful for you. They're pretty common sense, really, when you think about it. So let's get into them, right? The first thing is, how are you not icky on a sales conversation? Well, for women like myself, it is really important that we can stay in integrity when we're selling. And the problem with having big ass sales scripts that are like 10 pages long is that we're not in integrity, because we're trying to read from this script, right? And then we're trying to be present for the person on the other end of the call, and it doesn't work because they will feel that lack of presence. No matter how much we try to be present, it's not going to happen because we are focused on this bloody paper in front of us rather than focused on the person at the other end of the line. So how can we actually navigate around that and stop being icky and just be present for our ladies or for our men that are on the other end of the call? Here's what I do. And I find this really important, and it surprises me how many people don't do this. The first one is to be on time. Guys, I have had so many calls with potential coaches and mentors where I showed up on their calendar and they were late, okay? Even if it's 10 seconds or half a minute, it is not looking cool when you, as the potential mentor or coach, is showing up late to a coaching call, right? It's just not cool. You don't do that. You need to be in charge, and the only way you can be in charge is if you're preparing for the call and you show up nice and early. Because guess what? Your prospects might jump on early as well because they want to leave a great impression, and they are actually invested in time with you and invested in the conversation. So what they will do is they might actually jump on the call 2 or 3 minutes early. So what I normally do is jump on 5 minutes early, and in the 5 minutes I get myself ready, I have my notes, right? And when the prospect shows up, I'm actually fully present. I've got my cup of coffee or my tea or my water, I've got my notes, I've got my scribbly documents, whatever I need, and I don't need to stress, and I can be fully present for that other person. And I think that's a fair exchange of value, right? So be on time. The second one is you need to simplify your script. I totally understand that we need some sort of tool to help us stay on track as we are serving the other person. And if we don't have at least some notes on a post-it note or a simple script that allows us to kind of follow the things that we need to cover, then we are actually doing a disservice to the other person on the end of the line, because we might forget to mention that, you know, that they could have X and Y and Z because we're not mentioning a certain aspect of what we are serving. And if we not mention that, then we are kind of taken away from the sales, if that makes sense. And the third thing is you got to focus on serving, not selling. But you can't do that when you have a 20-page sales script in front of you, because the focus goes on the sales script. So if you want my 2-page simplified sales script, if you do consulting calls, coaching calls, strategy calls, and you're selling on the phone or via Zoom calls to potential clients, then if you want that 2-page document, drop me a line below, because I have taken a big ass 10-page document and put it into 2 pages, and it's simple to follow. You can print it on 1 page, so it's front and back. You don't have to worry about following the kind of the whole script, but it will help you stay on track, and you can actually personalize it however which way you want. But I tell you what, since I've done that, my sales conversations are more fun and more in alignment with the person at the other end, and I'm actually being of better service because I'm no longer focusing on the script, I'm focusing on the person that is watching and talking to me. So really, really important, because I'm doing, when I'm not doing calls now because I've chosen another way to sell. But when I do sales calls, I always have the camera on. I actually find not having a camera to see the person very icky. And for me, the camera builds trust a lot faster. So if I'm talking to somebody that I want to invest in, I would like to see the person's eyes. And if they're only on voice, then they may be reading from a script because they can't focus on me and the script at the same time. So if you are doing camera strategy calls, this is even more important, because you'll be able to have the script, but you can focus on the person. So that's it from me. I think I'm time. I gotta get out because I always go too long. But if you want the script, let me know below, and have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next live.